Hello, this is Griff, and I'm doing an experiment today because I'm not sure if you guys are going to be able to see me because I'm on satellite right now. So usually it doesn't work for phone calls, but I'm giving it a try and talking about droughts and the wind just started up, which is going to make it worse. Hello, thanks for all you guys who've been following me. I really appreciate it. You know I love wildlife, and I want to share ways that you can help wildlife because I know a lot of you here love wildlife. You know what? Literally, the breeze just came up right when I went live. Was totally still before, and now it's going to mess with the sound here. But anyways, we're having a drought in California, and I can't believe this breeze just started right when I turned this on. We're having a drought in California, and we're having lots of fires. I was a firefighter for a long time, and so this is the second year I haven't, responded to wildfires, and so I'm kind of like feeling like I should be out there, like I'm missing something, like I'm playing hooky. But my heart goes out to all the firefighters out there. Y'all know I love you, and I'm watching you guys when you post stuff on Instagram and following you as well as I can. So be safe. So I'm in a different location than I usually am. Usually I have to walk miles and miles and miles to do a live. So if this works, it'd be really nice. You can see I'm near a road, but it's not a very busy road, so I don't think we're going to get too many. But I want to talk to you guys about how you can help wildlife during a drought, because I know a lot of you have been asking questions about that. And so I just want to talk about it and see if we can come to some kind of consensus. The easiest way to help wildlife is with water. And I'm not talking about giving it to them. I'm talking about conserving it at your house, because your water, especially if you're in the West and we're having this terrible drought, your water probably comes from a reservoir. And if it's coming from a reservoir and you're using tons of it, it means your reservoir is getting lower and lower. You can just look up a picture of Lake Mendocino. That's the reservoir I used to get my water out of when I lived in Ukiah. It's about dry. So less water for us also means less water for wildlife. And if you think about water, one time I was thinking about water. I get almost all my water from the Eel River. I get all my water from the Eel River. So I thought about it, and the Eel River is my closest relative by weight. Okay, because I'm 78, 80% water or more. So, and I'm Eel River water. So I'm basically a bag of mobile Eel River water. And so are the bears and the raccoons and the scrub jays and the quail that live here too. They're my water cousins. So think of it that way. Where's your water coming from? And the wildlife are part of your water family. Can you guys hear me okay? I see Mazzy responded. That's good. I swear it just started getting windy right when I turned this on. But I'm glad you can hear me, Mazzy, because I'm on satellite. All right. So, another thing you could do is provide native food, so planting native plants, because they don't associate that with humans. So if you have a native grape in your yard, they're not going to associate that with you. But if you have a bowl of cat food on your porch, this wind just came up right when I turned on the live, good Lord. But if you have a bowl of cat food on your porch right next to your sliding glass window so you can watch it and Fluffy eat out of it at the same time, I love you for being compassionate. You're trying to help the wildlife, but that's not the way to do it. Wildlife rehabbers and biologists and stuff, we love the people who feed wildlife because their heart's in the right place. We just wish they got informed and would stop doing it, because it creates a lot of problems. One of those problems is that it makes them associate humans with food. And while you might be the nicest person in the whole world, your neighbor might be shooting them or trapping them or something like that. Also, a lot of times animals who get cat food for a long time will have more babies than they normally would. And so then all their babies need food. And that's probably, have you guys seen the video of that kind of chubby guy on the porch and he's surrounded by raccoons? He's probably been feeding them for years. And so that's all the babies and stuff. They keep having them. And as long as he's feeding them, those raccoons will be fine. But if he moves or gets a mean neighbor, there's going to be huge problems and lots of suffering. So you're kind of kicking the can of suffering down the road so that you can feel good. Now, you're a compassionate person. I love you. I would love to feed raccoons and be surrounded by them, or squirrels, or I'd like, to do some Snow White stuff. How Snow White would be having birds land on her hand and she got butterflies in her hair. I would love to do that. I would like to be Snow White's brother. I don't know. I'd be like Snow Fat, or maybe Snow Way. People be like, that's her brother, Snow Way. And I have long hair under my hat. And so all my hair would be down, butterflies would be in there. I'd walk by you, I'd go like this. There'd be a butterfly tornado. I would love that. Okay. But feeding animals and getting them used to humans is not the way to do that. I love you people who feed animals because you got big hearts. You're like, but you need to be informed. If you want to help wildlife, volunteer at a wildlife care center and help wildlife directly, okay? And planting native plants in your yard, they won't associate that with you. They'll associate that with plants, okay? So, if you have like berry bushes that are berrying in the fall, when the birds are migrating through, they'll stop, they'll eat that, it's great. What about providing water? Well, I don't need to provide water here because I live in the middle of everywhere. I was going to say nowhere, but really it's everywhere. And there's no fences and there's no busy roads, so the animals can move around. They can go find water. So I don't put out water for wildlife because water dishes a lot of times could be disease centrals. Remember last year when all the bird feeders had salmonella on them, and my mom even got salmonella from her bird feeder. But when animals congregate in a place, they spread diseases to each other. So a lot of deer spread this disease. I don't know what it is. At watering holes, we suspect. At plastic watering holes, because it gets on there. It's like a doorknob. If everybody's going and they're touching a doorknob, you don't want to touch that doorknob. You'll wash your hands right away. You'll spray Lysol on it. It's the same thing with feeders. So if you do put out water, say you live in the middle of the city, you have fragmented habitats, you're next to a park, and the deer and the raccoons can't get to water because they'd have to cross busy freeways or fences, and they have no water and you want to help them, that's great. But change the water every single day and scrub that water dish or that tub, okay? Disinfect it every day and set that tub far away from your house. Here comes the car. So that's how you can help. If you want to give them water, don't put it close to your house. Clean it every single day, okay? And change the water every single day, and that way you won't risk giving them diseases, because you don't want to invite a bunch of wildlife over to your house and then give them all diseases, okay? So don't do that. All right. Someone coming to visit me? No. Lastly, you can join Griff's Wild Tips. That's my page where people, maybe you know a lot about wildlife and you want to share. Go to Griff's Wild Tips. It's my group, and you can share stuff about wildlife, tips on how to help them, and then you can follow me here, and you can volunteer at a wildlife care center near you. Okay, so you can go to animalhelpnow.org, ahnow.org, and you can find a wildlife care center near you that you can follow or that you can volunteer at. They'll train you, and you can really help animals. So if you want to help animals, don't feed them near your house. They'll become habituated. Okay. If you want to help, if you live in fragmented habitat, meaning the wildlife can't leave your area because there's fences and freeways, then put the water far away from your house, clean it every day, refill it every day, and follow me. And thank you for caring about wildlife. Those of you who love wildlife, I love you all. Have a great day.